afternoon to one and all. Jnana Anandamayam Devam Nirmala Spatikakritim Adharam Sarva Vidyanam Hayagrivam Upatsmayit. We worship the Lord who is very form of knowledge, pure as crystal, and who is the support of all knowledge. Dear students, welcome back to Unnati. You have a wonderful speaker, Professor Ashish K. Bhattacharya, addressing you today on time management, a skill one needs to be a pro. We are excited to have you here, sir. It's my pleasure to introduce you to the gathering. Professor Bhattacharya is the founder of Nonlinear Insights, which operates in the space of online executive education. He's an avid student of corporate financial reporting, management accounting, and corporate governance. He writes regularly in business standards on corporate governance issues. He's worked for 47 years after becoming a member of Institutes of Chartered Accountants of India, of which 20 years in leadership positions in the industries and 27 years in academia. He's got an opportunity to work as professor in IIM Calcutta, and also held the position of technical director in the Institute of Chartered Accountants of India. He's retired as the director of Institute of Management Technology, Ghaziabad. Professor Bhattacharya is one of the fellow persons of Institutes of Chartered Accountants of India, a fellow of the Institute of Cost Accountant of India, and an associate of the Chartered Institute of Management Accountant, UK. He's obtained his doctorate degree from Allahabad University. It's proud to have you here, sir. This take could not have been pulled off without all these young buds. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much, Aparna. It is my pleasure to interact with your students, and I look forward to an excellent interaction. I will speak for 30 minutes, and then I shall take the questions. Students may ask or participants may ask the question through the chat box. That will be much better. I am sharing the screen, and I hope you will be able to see the screen now. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, we are talking about time management, and it is so important that if we fail to manage our time, which is the most scarce resource, we fail to achieve our goals, because we cannot do many things which we want to do. When I talk about time management, it is important for us to understand that it is not time as such that we have to manage, but we need to manage the attention. And therefore, when we talk about time management, what is important is attention management. I presume that we all have the skill or the capability to concentrate, because just spending time on a particular task without concentration does not give the desired results. And therefore, we have to develop the concentration. It might be through yoga or any other form, but concentration is a must, not only during your student life, but also as you go ahead in your life. You might be in your job, you might be in a business. Of course, before that, you have to go a long way. Someone of you might be doctor, someone of you might be engineer, some of you might be accountant, so on and so forth. So before I get into the topic of time management, I will like to tell you that most important is to develop concentration. And although in the topic that we shall discuss, we shall talk about time management, but important is attention management. And I can tell you that throughout my career, I have observed that attention is the most scarce resource. I repeat again, attention is the most scarce resource available with us. And it flies away. And therefore, we cannot store it and say that we shall use it tomorrow. No, that's not possible. And if we can keep these two in mind, we should be able to manage our time. I have already told that time is scarce and it flies away. We should also keep in mind that there are a lot of demands on our time. And the demand on our time changes. We change in the environment, we change in the situation. And therefore, what is the demand on our time today may not be the same demands we shall feel on our time tomorrow. Next thing which we need to keep in mind, that productivity varies in different segments of the time. Somebody gets up early in the morning, for example, me, and initial 3-4 hours, I am very, very productive. But when it comes to the evening, I am not that productive. Those who are in the hostels, usually I have found that they are highly productive in the night, but not that much productive which it comes in the morning or the day. And therefore, the productivity of time varies in the different segments, and it is individualistic. There is no general formula to say that morning time is more productive than the evening time or the time in the night. We should also keep in mind that time management is a skill and not a function of personality traits. So we cannot say that this cannot be learned. We cannot say that this is my personality trait and therefore I shall not be able to manage the time. It is a skill, it can be learned. Our discussion today, we shall talk about how to develop that skill. There are 3 components of time management skill. One is awareness. You need to know that what is your time available with you and how you use it. So creating awareness about the time is the first component of the time management skill. Second component is arrangement. We usually call it planning. And third component is adaptation, monitoring the use of time. Often we feel that either of these is more important, but that is not right again. Research has shown that all the 3 skills are equally important. And therefore, if you say that I will focus on one, you are not doing right thing for managing your time. You have to focus on all the 3: awareness, arrangement, and adaptation. Now, when I talk about awareness, Again, awareness is very simple. You should be aware of a few things. As I told you, that you should rank the least productive to peak productive time slots in a day or week. Now, what is the unit of your time? It may be a day, it may be a week. Because we may take a week also, because weekends may be very productivity for some, may not be productive for others. Similarly, morning may be productive, evening may not be productive. Do you know what is your productive time? Can you please rank it from the least productive to peak productive time slots? Many of us actually are not aware about that what are our productive peak in a week. Research has shown that many of us really don't know that how we use our time and what is the productive time. Create a time budget. Budget, you all know that we plan our actions in the budget. Now there are certain must-dos, we can call it fixed. You can't help it. For example, you have to attend classes when the classes are going on. These are fixed. You have no discretion. You cannot say that I will not attend the class. You have to get ready in the morning, fixed. You have no option. You may have certain family responsibilities, and that is also fixed. So you have to identify which are the tasks, which are the time slots that are fixed, and you cannot use it for any other purpose. Then other is discretionary. You want to do something, and therefore there is no fixed time slot for it. And you have to decide that which are those tasks which you want to do. So it is budgeting the time. Like money, we have to budget for time as well. Record how much time you spend on tasks with clear deadlines. For many tasks, we have deadlines. Either deadlines are decided by us or deadlines are decided by others. But there are many tasks where there are deadlines. We need to understand that how much time we have taken to finish a task within that deadline. Because unless we know that how much time we have spent on the task with clear deadlines, we shall not be able to understand and therefore create awareness that what is our productivity and how we estimate the time that is required to complete a particular task. Assess accuracy of estimates. As you know, that when we talk about budget, we compare actuals with estimates and try to find out the causes why there are variations. Why the actual time taken varies from the estimated time. Similarly, in case of time management, we need to assess the accuracy of estimates, comparing actual time with estimated time. Assess impact of future tasks in achieving your goal. When I say impact here, it is very important to understand which task is important and will benefit you the most. And therefore, all future tasks which are in your planning, you should try to assess what are the impact of those tasks. Now, this is very important, particularly for students, because some tasks they may say that we may not do, and some tasks is not avoidable because those tasks have very significant consequences on the goal you achieve. As a manager, that means when you get into a job, you start your own business or whatever it may be, that means when you complete your student life and start something else, then you have to decide the goal and you have to understand which task how every task which you might undertake will impact in achieving that goal. So first thing, skill that you need to develop is to create awareness about your time, about how you use your time, what are your productive hours, productive times, and what tasks you must do, what tasks are discretionary. And you need to develop that awareness by recording the time you have spent on tasks with clear deadlines. And you have to assess the accuracy of your estimates, because there are many of us who underestimate the time required for a particular task. And there are many who might be overestimating the time required for the task. But when we estimate how much time will be required for a task, we need to understand what the task is all about. For example, if you are writing an essay, or you are submitting the class work, or you are trying to complete a particular chapter, you must understand what are the complexity there and how much time it will take, depending on your own productivity. And I can tell you that this productivity is individualistic. It may not be comparable with others. So you yourself have to understand that what is your productivity, and based on that you estimate how much time you require for a task, and then compare with the actual, analyze why there is a variation. And finally, you have to look at the impact of every task on your ultimate goal. Arrangement skill is planning. Prioritize activities and obligations. That is very important, that we need to understand which are the priorities. If we don't know which are the priorities, which tasks are on the top of the priority list and which are not, we shall not be able to allocate our time and attention to different tasks that we need to complete within a week or within a day. Usually we don't write all this, but at least we know that if we have to manage anything, control anything, then we need to understand. And therefore it is important for us to take paper and pencil. Of course, that is not required today. You can use your computer or any available software to do all this, what we are talking today. But remember, if you don't do this, time management will not be possible. And you also remember that practice makes a man perfect. Unless you hone up your skill for time management, just listening to a lecture for 90 minutes or 45 minutes will not help you. You need to practice that. And therefore, if you feel that it is something extra task you will not do, you are making a mistake. Research has shown that if every day you spend 10 minutes for doing time management, whatever we are talking today, then you save at least 40 minutes in the day to complete the task. And therefore you become more productive. Therefore, friends, my request to you will be that whatever we are talking today or will talk today, you need to practice it, and you have to sit with pen, pencil, or a software or iPad, whatever is you have, but you have to focus on time management. Tasks that are both important and urgent should be done first. You should have the ability, the skill to understand which tasks are important and which tasks are urgent. Important tasks may not necessarily be urgent. Urgent tasks may not necessarily be important. For example, you have to learn a chapter on mathematics is important but may not be urgent unless you are one of those students who prepare just before the examination. But if you are a student who continuously prepare your studies and spend time uniformly throughout the year, in that case, learning a particular chapter is not urgent, but is important. But submission of an assignment is urgent and important because there is a deadline. You cannot cross that deadline, and therefore task is urgent. And because by submitting assignment, you are exposing yourself to evaluation by your teacher and getting a feedback, and that is why that is important. And of course, sometimes as a student, we feel it is important because there is a point, marks, or grade allotted to it. So you will say that if I am planning some task today, then I have to decide what is both important and urgent. If we are unable to differentiate between the important and urgent task, we shall not be able to manage our time well. Therefore, our skills should be developed to identify which tasks are important but not urgent, that can wait. You can learn at your own pace. You can do that task at your own pace. And urgent, because there is a demand, you need to complete it immediately. But there are tasks which are both important and urgent, and they need your attention immediately. Record due dates for tasks and appointments. You make your due dates of your own. You decide that by which date a particular task need to be completed. But for that, you need to decide which are the tasks you need to perform in a week or in a day. It is always better to plan for a week and then divide into 10 days. So you have a weekly plan and then it is segregated into daily plan. So you will be able to know that in a day, whether you could complete the task which you decided to complete. If not, there is a rollover and that will disturb your planning for the week. Sometimes it may be required for you to plan for a month. So what should be your unit of time depends on what is the need you are looking forward to. Reserve time slots for uninterrupted time for most important projects. Now this is absolutely important. What we are trying to say here is that you make an appointment with yourself. I repeat again, you make an appointment with yourself. Usually we record appointments in our diary, but today in a smartphone, we also record in the Google Calendar. But have you ever decided your appointment with yourself? If you have not done so, then you start doing so right now. That is important because there are certain tasks which requires uninterrupted attention. For example, take my case. When I have to write a particular paper or write a book, it requires uninterrupted attention. Or when I have to do a research, I need uninterrupted attention for quite long. And at that time, I will close down all social media. I will close down all TVs. I will close down all my engagement with my friends. I will sit down on my table and I will pay uninterrupted attention to that task. It is not only that it is when I have matured, I am in a job, that uninterrupted time is required. As a student, you also require uninterrupted time. For example, when you say that you have to prepare for a particular subject, which needs a particular attention because you find that is little complex, or you take a project and the project is to be completed, you need uninterrupted time. Therefore, you decide to have an appointment with yourself. And at that time, you close all other communication channel with the outside world. Otherwise, our habit is to pay attention to WhatsApp, to pay attention to Facebook and other social media. That really result in wastage of time. Try half-size goals. It means that when the task is very complex and very lengthy, in that case, you divide it in smaller components and make it simple. Because you cannot really complete a task which is overwhelming and is complex, and you will feel that you may not be able to start that task. Therefore, it is important that when the task is complex and will take significant time, you break up the task into smaller components and then allot your time to complete each of those components. That is what I am talking about, the arrangement skill or planning. Last is adaptation skill. Harmonize time management behavior with existing habits. Now, this is very important. For example, your existing habit is to get up in the morning or take at least 1 hour break in the evening to play a football, basketball, or whatever games you like, or 2 hours, or to go to dinner with your friends. Otherwise, you don't feel relaxed. As a student, we always find, or we are required to find, a stress buster, because we get stressed, and therefore, unless we decide what is the stress buster, pursuing a hobby, we may not be able to produce what we want to produce. Our productivity will be very, very low. Now, when you are managing your time, then you have to harmonize with your existing habits. Don't try to change the habits fast. If required, yes, of course, you have to change. But first look at that which are the habits that you will be able to change and how will you be able to change that habit. But suddenly if you jump on and say that I will change my habit and I will harmonize habit with the time management behavior, then you might face difficulties. Ultimately, you have to harmonize. But first you try to look at that you should continue some time for yourself, which relax you. And you should look at what is your habit. For example, getting up in the morning or work till the late evening, whatever it might be, and then manage your time or plan your time management. Put reminders with detailed explanations. Now here the important word is detailed explanation. Usually we write a reminder without any explanation. You should not be miser in reminder. Write reminders, keep reminders with detailed explanations what you want to do at that time. Now, usually we don't set reminders. We are miser about reminders. But unless we put reminders, we shall not be able to manage our time. Create contingency plan. When you are planning in life, you make scenario analysis. So you should be able to foresee what kind of scenarios may emerge in the next week. And therefore, unless you have those scenarios before you, you are not able to make the contingency plan. For example, if a holiday is coming and you have to go home, that is the scenario we are talking about. Or quite possible that some of your friend or relative is sick and therefore you have to go there if it is required, although at present that may not be required. So you are talking about two scenarios. When one where you did not have to attend and go to the hospital. Second is you might have to go to the hospital. Third, it is quite possible that there will be a strike of the roadways, let us say, and you may not be able to do a lot of things. But there is a scenario, it may not. The strike might be withdrawn. What I am trying to say is that you should be able to foresee the scenarios that is likely to emerge during the week for which you are planning. And create don't disturb time slots, block social media. I have already talked about it, difficult to practice, but we need to practice it. That if you say that I want to look at the Facebook, again, you close Facebook, don't look at that except a specified time in the day or in the week. It is not that whenever I am sitting in the on the computer, every 10 minutes I go to the Facebook. Then I will not be able to manage my time. And that is equally applicable to WhatsApp. Yes, our phone remains open because when we talk about mobile phone, we wait. If there is something urgent, we have to talk. But give appointment to your friends to give the slot for talking. It is not that I want to talk to you and therefore suddenly I call you and disturb you when you are engaged in a particular task. So you can tell your friends in advance. For example, I tell everyone that I will take a call from between morning 10 to 12 or in the evening from 7 to 9. So I don't take call all the time. And therefore, initially people might find it little difficult when I join a new organization, but by and by they understand that yes, I will not take the call unless it is very urgent. And therefore, generally they don't call me. So a discipline is required for time management. All what I have said is important, but how you do about it? The most important is that your awareness about time management. Unless you are aware that what are your skills in time management, you will not be able to focus which skills to improve. And therefore, it is important that you first create an awareness, self-awareness about your time management skills. For that, you seek the feedback from your teacher, from your friends, from your family members, whom you trust. Feedback from others is absolutely important because they will be able to tell you objectively what are your time management skills and if you fail, where you fail. Prioritize the skills you need to improve. You may have skills in planning, but you may not be knowing about awareness, or you are aware about your time availability, but you are not good in planning. And therefore, you find out that out of the 3 skills, which one is most important for you to develop because you are weak in that. I have told all the 3 skills are equally important, but you may have a skill in one, not in other 2, or in 2 and not in other 1. So while improving, you have to identify where you are weak. Focus on the skills you need to improve. You need to focus on the skills that you have to improve, but as I have said, that only practice makes a man perfect, and therefore you have to practice what I have said today. I stop here and now I will be able to take questions.
Sir Shashank Yaji is posted a question.
Yeah, please.
He makes timetable but fails to follow it. And I procrastinate on it a lot. So what is your suggestion on this?
Making a timetable is not enough. Your awareness is most important. Have you ever monitored how much time you require to complete the task? Because you will procrastinate if you see that you are unable to manage your time. And when you procrastinate, the most important thing you can do is give a break for 10 minutes, again get on the job. If you don't do that, sometimes you create a fatigue and you procrastinate the particular task. So procrastination can be avoided if you pay regular attention to that job. Although it may not be of interest to you, you want to postpone it. But if you are conscious about it, you should be able to manage the time. Yeah, have I answered your question? Hello.
Yes, sir, you have definitely answered his doubt. And so there is a student called Agam Agarwal. He says, how can I be both time productive along with time management? And if not possible, in some situations in which, according to what must be my choice, like how to question myself on time productive and the management. For example, I might have a project to do, but keeping time in mind, one might produce an inferior quality job, or time sufficiency to produce a superior quality product. How do I plan this?
First of all, Aman, your question is before me. Thank you for reading it out, Aparna.
That's okay.
When we talk about time management, time productivity, frankly speaking, I am unable to understand right your question. Because we have to productive, and our productivity depends on our capabilities, and everyone is not equally productive.
Yes, sir. He's actually, sorry to disturb you, he's posted here, which is more important? Is it productivity or management?
Both are important. I can tell you that I take, let us say, 10 minutes to read a particular page. And I have seen people who are able to read in 5 minutes or 3 minutes. There is a concept in my younger days I have learned about speed reading. I don't know how far that helps. But the productivity is different for different subjects, different type of task, and my productivity may not be the same as others. I will try to improve my productivity, but I should always assess whether I have improved that or not. And therefore, your time management depends on your productivity. As I said, that you may be highly productive on a particular type of task in the morning and less productive in the evening. Will you allot that task in the morning and not in the evening? Therefore, to my mind, both are important. And so far quality is concerned, I say excellence is a journey and you cannot really compromise on the quality. Quality is absolutely important. At the same time, you should not be perfectionist. I have seen those who are perfectionists, they often are unable to complete the task because they are not satisfied at the end. So you should know when you talk about quality, what is the acceptable quality, high quality, according to your standard. But don't try to be perfectionist on any task. You will not be able to complete the task. There is another message I see. Can you read the message for others also?
Yes, this is Rahul who says, what is the best way to remind myself about what am I supposed to do?
As I have already said, don't be miser in terms of reminders. I always give reminders. I write on a notebook because I am not that tech savvy. I don't use the software. But today, many managers, many students use software because there are smartphones, iPad, etc. But only thing is that whatever way you use, whether manual or you are going for technology, you must write details. Just a reminder that I have to complete an assignment is not enough. If you write that you have to complete assignment X and what are the tasks involved in that, then it will be much more valuable rather than just writing in a sheet of paper or in a computer, whatever way, that I have to complete an assignment. That's not enough. So it is found in research that many of us just write the name of the assignment, but that doesn't help in managing the time. Therefore, you should be able to write a little bit more details that what is the task you are talking about. Rahul.
And he's also added an additional question, sir. In this modern era, what would be the best time of for maximum productivity?
No one knows. It depends on individuals. I can tell you that I am highly productive because I get up at 4:30 till, let us say, 7:30. While I see my son, who is also a professor, he works in the late night and he is highly productive at that time and gets up late. And therefore, there is no standard to say which time is more productive for me. Therefore, I don't want to recommend anything. You look at your habits, try to make an assessment, which is the most productive time for you. And again, it also depends as a student on the subject. Somebody would like to complete the mathematics in the morning. Somebody will say, I will do mathematics practice in the weekend. And therefore, it is your choice, your assessment, I will say, awareness, which is the most productive time for you.
That's right, sir. Any more questions, dear students?
If there is no question, I will like to give one advice that please don't end your skill development when this webinar ends, this session ends. When this session ends, you will start learning your time management skills. What I have said is meaningless unless you practice that. The PPT will be available with you. And first and foremost, you ask yourself, am I aware about my time, my attention, my productivity? If you are not, you will not be able to manage your time. We often say time is money, but I will say it is more important than money. There is a saying which says that unless you manage money and water, it flows according to its choice and is wasted. Same is applicable when we talk about time and attention. But it flows and wasted. And therefore, if you want to avoid wastage of time, you have to channelize it in the right direction. And therefore, time management is absolutely important. I see an additional question from Basantha. I
Yes,
have
sir.
enrolled, yeah, am I right in
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
answer? Yeah. I have enrolled to Allen for JEE training and also for state exam. How we plan both? Uh, if you want my honest opinion, I will say you are messing up with yourself. Either you plan for JEE or for state exam. If you spend time in coaching only, how you learn? Coaching institute don't teach you. They develop a skill for solving problems. But you have to learn, and therefore you make a choice. Don't go for both the coaching centers. Either you enroll for JEE or enroll for a state examination. And I can tell you that the kind of skill that is being developed in JEE, although that is very important because you have to get admission in a good either engineering college or medical college. But there you don't learn. That is most important. And therefore, my suggestion will be don't take coaching for a state exam. Take coaching for JEE because that is a skill building, regular practice. For a state exam, learn at home, discuss with your teachers in the school. There is a Swaroop is a question. Could you please share this presentation in the group? That is to you, Aparna.
Yes, sir. I'll take care of that, sir. It will definitely be done.
Okay, if there is any other question, I can answer.
How many hours of sleep is good for students like us? These are all 11th standard students, sir.
I can tell you that minimum sleep required is 7 to 8 hours. If there is a sleep deficit, your productivity comes down very, very sharply. And therefore, if you feel that you will not sleep and work, that is counterproductive. You must have sleep for 7 to 8 hours. And I can tell you one thing that is very interesting. You calculate your sleeping time for the week. And if you get sleep deficit in the day, you can compensate it in weekends. Therefore, you calculate the number of hours sleep required in a week, taking average 7 to 8 hours in a day, and then ensure that you are at least sleeping that much of time. Lack of sleep means lack of productivity, loss of productivity. There is a question from
Agam, who says,
Agam.
does oversleeping make us lazy, and what are the best hours of sleeping?
You see two things we can increase, which can hurt us. One is sleeping, second is eating. And therefore you should ensure that you are not oversleeping. You are oversleeping, slap yourself and get up with the alarm. And therefore I have no other suggestion on this issue. There is a question from Basantha. Ji, I am parent of Khushi. Can I unmute and ask a question? Of course you can.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
I really thank Trisha for giving this opportunity for all the kids out there to get very valuable guidelines and
I am unable to listen. Can you be little louder?
So can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much, for Trisha, to give us this opportunity to interact with you directly here. See, my question here is, I think my daughter asked this question to you already. See, we have enrolled for JEE, yeah, that is there, but as part of our state norms, we have also enrolled in Trisha for her to complete the board exam, which is a prerequisite. So sometimes, it's very confusing and it creates a little bit of stress on every child. So, but we also want to try that, every child would have a little bit of aspiration to give up state as a prerequisite and also prepare for IIT. So how do we really manage this kind of, scenarios out here?
I can tell you that I will not change my statement, which I have already answered. And therefore, you should say which one you should take more seriously. I have seen many students who have messed up by taking coaching on both the state level as well as JEE. Now, if you feel that JEE is most important, then you have the coaching on JEE very seriously. And other coaching, you decide what you learn from the coaching and spend more time with your teachers for state level examination.
Okay, sir. Thank you so much for that.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. There is a question from Rahul. In this lockdown period, there are online classes. We have to sit in front of a screen. How to reduce the strain on eyes? It is a question that should be answered by the doctor. But I can tell you that you reduce your other screen times. Then Tilak is asking a question, how good it feels to learn from a reputed institute. Sir, as you teach in reputed school or institution, I can tell you that reputation of the institute depends on the intake of the students and also, of course, with teachers. But I can tell you that I studied in village schools at my time. There was not that many public schools. And I could get the best teachers that are available in schools. And what I have learned in school, perhaps I have not learned elsewhere. Because when I talk about learning, it is like lighting a lamp and not filling a vessel with information. So as we grow, we sometimes fill up the vessel with information, but learning is from school. So it is forget about reputation, but it is important for you to get the good teachers with whom you are very comfortable and take him as guru and learn from him or her. How not to take stress and pressure. As I have said, you must pursue your hobby seriously. That will be your stress buster. Unless you pursue a hobby, you will be stressed. Some recommend yoga. And of course, I don't practice yoga, but there are many who practice yoga. So you can do yoga also to reduce your stress level. But if you like something, maybe music, maybe football, maybe something else, you should do that. And stress buster, you need to identify yourself. That is what I advise to all my students in IIMs and IMTs and other institutes. Yes, is it now have I answered all the questions?
Yes, sir.